Avatar Studios has a lot of amazing content planned for the future, but is it too much content? Will things be rushed and unfinished? Is it possible that the whole studio just ends up failing? In this video, we'll be talking about the 2023 to 2027 Avatar Studios project slate and some of the concerns over the development of these projects. We'll also talk about the live-action Avatar series and how that ties into the Avatarverse as a whole. To start off, here's a brief overview of the Avatar Studios project slate. For animated projects, we first have the adult Gang movie coming out October 10th, 2025. Then, sometime in 2025, a new series about the next Earth Avatar after Korra will be released. 2026 will feature a Zuko animated movie and then another animated TV series, which might be the animated preschool series that was recently announced. Basically, every year starting 2025, we will be getting a new TV series and a new movie. For the live-action Avatar, Season 1 is expected to release this summer, Season 2 is projected for summer 2025, and Season 3 is projected for summer 2027. That is a ton of content coming out for the Avatarverse. Definitely the most packed content that we've ever gotten. We do know that the animation style will be a custom 2D animation, similar to new animation styles like from the Into the Spider-Verse movies and Arcane. I think this is a great decision, because Avatar works so well in 2D animation, and it's what the creators are the most comfortable with. It would be pretty jarring to suddenly make a change to 3D animation for all of these projects and probably take a lot longer to produce. Now the big question is, can they pull it off? I have no doubt about the talent and creativity of the creators of Avatar or Avatar Studios as a whole. However, they're not a massive studio like Disney. With the insane amount of money that Disney has, they can make cinematic universes like the MCU or Star Wars, and it's not the end of the world if a project doesn't succeed at the box office. With Avatar Studios, they really need to nail down these first few projects in order to keep the fans invested and keep the studio alive. One movie and one TV series doesn't sound like a lot when you compare it to other franchises, but the team at Avatar Studios needs to be comfortable with working at a pretty fast pace. As long as the original creators continue to stay as the heads of Avatar Studios, they can pretty much have complete creative freedom with their projects, and I really do believe they can pull this off and make an amazing cinematic universe with Avatar. Next, I'm going to make some comparisons to the MCU. So if you aren't really interested in it or haven't kept up with the franchise recently, don't worry, I'm going to keep things pretty broad. In the past few years, the MCU content has been kind of lacking. There were some projects that were really good, and some that were just really bad. The bad projects just seemed rushed, had terrible writing, and unfinished to the point where Disney was still working on the movie as it was releasing or coming out on Disney+. There was clearly a priority for quantity over quality, and a lot of fans, including myself, got major superhero movie fatigue in the past few years. Bringing it back to Avatar Studios, this is pretty much my worst fear for the company. Avatar Studios really needs to prioritize quality rather than quantity. We know that the original creators have the ability to write amazing stories, and they need to be able to succeed in their plans to do one movie and one TV series every year. I think it's smart just to focus on 2 projects per year, but again, they've never really had to work at this pace before, and I just hope that it doesn't lead to some projects being rushed or unfinished. I don't think Avatar Studios will turn into the MCU in any way in the recent years. The original creators, from my knowledge at least, aren't really greedy. They really care about the fans and this franchise, and they want to do it justice. Now, there are also some comparisons to be made with the Star Wars universe. Again, I'm going to keep things pretty broad here. Similar to the MCU, the recent Star Wars projects have been a mixed bag of good and bad. What's different when it comes to Star Wars, though, is the reliance on original or legacy characters. Projects like the Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi had so much potential, and there were some good moments in both shows, but overall the writing was not great and there was a lot to be desired. Disney thinks that just by inserting these legacy characters, the show will become immediately successful, which is flat out wrong. The writing needs to be really good in order for these characters to reach their potential. So there is some reliance on these legacy characters, but I think the most recent show of Andor was a huge step in the right direction. When it comes to Avatar Studios, there are certainly a lot of stories to be told with the original cast of Aang, Sokka, Katara, Toph, and Zuko. I just hope they are able to tell great stories outside of those characters and not heavily rely on them like the Star Wars shows. Now we know that the next TV series will focus on the next Earth Avatar, so it seems like the studio wants to create projects with brand new characters, as well as existing ones, which I think is a great approach. We've known about the original Avatar characters for almost 20 years at this point, and I think a lot of fans are ready for something new. Moving on, there's recently been some amazing news when it comes to Avatar Studios and the live-action Avatar at Netflix. Both studios have recently collaborated on the Netflix live-action show and will include new canon material contributed by Avatar Studios. Avatar Studios is now one of the production companies for the live-action show. New information will be canon and has the potential to impact future animated projects. So the live-action content is included in Paramount's official Avatar slate, it's just not included on their animated Avatar slate, obviously. This is great news to hear, as I know there's a lot of uncertainty on whether or not the live-action show will be good. Ever since the original creators left the project, a lot of fans have totally become uninterested in it and assume that it'll just be bad. But with this news and other recent news about the production of the live-action show, I think a lot more people are becoming excited or at least cautiously optimistic. I don't really think the original creators will be spending a ton of time on the live-action show. They definitely need to focus on their own projects, so I'm not that worried about them juggling both the live-action and animated projects. Overall, it'll just be more Avatar content for the fans to enjoy. Besides the animated and live-action projects, we are also getting some more extended universe content in the form of video games, comics, and novels. For video games, we recently got the release of the Avatar Generations mobile game, and there are also plans to make an RPG-style game called The Quest for Balance. Not much is known about this game right now, but I'm sure over time we'll learn more about it, and more high-quality games will come for Avatar in the future. We even have some Avatar tie-ins to existing games like Minecraft and Brawlhalla. Of course, content for the comics can pretty much take place during any time period. We already know that a Korra graphic novel trilogy is coming out, as well as some Azula-focused comics. Also, a Dawn of Yang Chen Book 2 is confirmed to be coming, which I'm really excited about. And I bet more books in the Chronicles of the Avatar series will be developed. With all of this content being released, there are some valid concerns about the Avatar universe becoming oversaturated. TV, movies, video games, comics, and books are definitely a lot of different mediums of content, but it's important to keep in mind that not everybody is interested in the extended universe content. I'm willing to bet that a lot of fans really just care about the main animated TV series and the movies, and won't really be interested in the comics or books. Really, it's up for the fans to decide which types of content they're interested in, and it's always great to have multiple options. So no, I don't think the Avatar universe will become oversaturated. As long as great stories are written, it'll keep the fan base engaged and invested in their long-term plans for Avatar Studios. So that pretty much wraps it up for this video. I'm really excited about the future of Avatar Studios. While there are definitely some valid concerns about the development of their projects and the pace at which they produce their projects, I think the original creators definitely have the ability to make an amazing cinematic universe for Avatar. As long as they take their time and focus on quality projects rather than quantity, I think the fans are really going to enjoy Avatar content moving forward. I think there will be something for everyone, whether it be the animated projects, live action, comics, or books. There's so much to be excited about. Let me know what projects you're most excited about in the comments below, and thanks so much for watching!